Welcome to the Season 20 Scenario Show. Hope everybody's doing great out there. Late night, especially on the East Coast. Let's meet our playoff scenario crew here coming up in just a bit. If you want to give the SFL some extra bonus support, don't forget those super chats. And if you want specific questions there at the end of the show answered that maybe we somehow didn't get to, we will do our best to do that. Just remember, not going to skip around and can't answer what we don't know. That's what we're here to find out over these next 16 scenarios. Hoping to get out of here before the sun comes back up again. Let's meet our panel. First up from left to right, that's the man laughing. Chris Curtis is here. How you doing, Chris?
I'm doing okay. Looking forward to seeing where everybody shakes out in the grand scheme of things and seeing what we have to look forward to come tomorrow's games.
Rochelle Colston's here. How you doing, Rochelle?
Doing great, Cam. Looking forward to the show.
Same here. 199 Skippy. Yes, Poppy. Steven Hacker's here. How you doing, Steven?
Doing good. Glad to be here.
Hey, it's our plumber.
Man, they're still calling you Plumber Hacker? That's crazy.
Still rocking the mustache, so it still applies.
Tyler Falk's here. What it do, Tyler?
Oh, it do so much, Cam. And here we go.
Hunter Norwood is here. Jack's Data. What's up?
Doing good.
Yogi Bar will be around shortly once his computer finishes updating. I know what that's all about. Tyler was super pumped. Didn't expect him to say his line just then. But you know what?
I'll say it again, Cam.
Give me some force. Let's get into scenario one. It's all yours, broadcaster of the year.
All right. Thank you, Cam. Ladies and gentlemen, it's the scenario show. One more time. Say it with me. And here we go.
All right, let's go. $2 from Bob Funk. It's Samario. It's a free agent, apparently, according to him in the YouTube chat. Let's get into it. Scenario one. All right, so here's the standings after Saturday's crazy games. You can see already that we have one, not necessarily Louisiana in all scenarios. We haven't done any yet, but at least one 7-win team will miss the playoffs. Now, if Carolina and Indianapolis win tomorrow, then 3 7-5 teams will miss the playoffs. If neither of them win, then only one will. If one of them wins, then 2 will. We're about to find out who that is. $2 super chat from Fowler. Let's go love the SFL 5 years and counting. Thank you, Fowler. And Mickey, 199 super chat. Let's go Minnesota. We'll find out where they were all in. All right, so first scenario to Hunter, Minnesota, Carolina, Indy, and Fort Worth. All winners.
Minnesota.
So while he's working on that, we will plug it in here. So Indy wins, Minnesota wins, Fort Worth wins, Carolina wins. That's basically what you're looking at there is all the favorites winning here in scenario one, and that would leave a bunch of teams on the outside. That would mean that Tulsa would lose and Mexico City would lose. So we're just going to start off with a bang, folks. That would be 9 teams at 7-5. That is scenario one. Might be a long night, folks.
Yeah.
Let's get the hardest one out of the way. Okay, so let's see. Every single one of these teams except Vancouver would be a wild card. So in this scenario, Vancouver would be the 7 spot as the division winner. And Hunter, let me know when you're ready.
Yep, should be good.
Okay, so we got a bunch of 7-5 teams. So to break this tie, we start with SOVs, and it looks like Louisiana and Mexico City are the first 2 out. And let's go ahead and put that in the standings. I think that's pretty fair to say. There's way too many teams, no common opponents between all those teams. Mexico City, Louisiana first out. Anyone want to chime in on that?
Mexico City missing, yeah.
Yeah, first time since season 6, I think is what it was. For Mexico City to be out of the playoffs.
Yeah, 6 or 7 or something like that. Pretty crazy. Well, there's a scenario right there. So Mexico City hoping for some upsets this week, and obviously certainly a win. Okay, so now we got San Diego, the first team out. I'm just gonna look down the list here, and Vancouver and Carolina and Tulsa don't share any common opponents. So right there, I mean, we've got no common opponents here. So yeah, San Diego is that last team out in scenario number 1.
Wow. Okay. So that takes care of both of them. Now, as far as seeding, yeah, SOV puts Carolina at the top of that, just on the outside of Vancouver there.
So we've got, so again, Carolina and Tulsa with no common opponents. Hunter, are you seeing this as a straight SOV sweep all the way through these 7 and 5 teams?
Yeah, that's what it looks like to me.
Yeah.
Because I know
there's so many.
Yeah, San Diego, the West and the South share non-divisional schedules, but then Indy, Carolina, and Tulsa. Well, Indy and Tulsa muck that up.
Yeah,
Anyway.
they do. And when you have a tiebreaker with this many 7 and 5s, your only hope is to get to a 2 or 3 team tiebreaker at the end to get something better. But in this case, there's nothing better. So if this is just a straight SOV sweep, you've got Alamo City 12, Vegas 11, and then you have Indy, Tulsa, and Carolina. So Carolina becomes your 8. They would get a home playoff game. And they would
There you go.
And they would host Tulsa, the 7 and 5 opposite darlings from last season.
Yeah.
Indy gets in. They would play Vancouver.
Vegas, London, and then.
And what a
Alamo
story
City
that
forward.
What a story that would be. Indy versus Vancouver. Indy beating Vancouver in Vancouver earlier
That's
this
true.
season.
Yeah, that was the Kanye Rockefeller game.
Yep.
So yeah, you have SOV totally through this gigantic 7 and 5 mess. That's the only way to do it when you have that many teams with conflicting resumes. So then you have London. They're all alone at 8 and 4. Now we get to Fort Worth, Minnesota, Arizona, Baltimore. Your 4-way divisional tie.
All SOV.
All SOV again? Yeah, because Baltimore and Minnesota share no common opponents. And
Right.
in this scenario, Fort Worth becomes your wild card team. They would play Alamo City in the first round.
Mm-hmm.
That would be a crazy draw. My wife just got home. Then Arizona, Minnesota, and Baltimore. So Baltimore remains your 2 seed. By a pretty decent margin. Arizona sneaks into that first round by 0.009 percentage points. And there you have it. A very complicated scenario, but also a very simple one, as only SOV can apply the tiebreakers. Okay, we all good with moving on to scenario 2?
Yeah, that's pretty simple and straightforward, all told.
Only difference in this one is Mexico City winning. So Mexico City's going to go 8 and 4. That's going to slot them underneath London because they are not a division winner.
And Fort Worth lost to London. although it doesn't matter too much.
Yeah. So is that updated in the? Can we look at SOV?
Yeah. Let me just sort this real quick, just in case.
Yeah. The only difference was
really
Mexico City.
Cam,
Yes, sir.
Minnesota and Arizona need to swap 3 and 4 with SLV in both scenario 1 and scenario 2.
Thank you. Yeah, so if somebody can keep an eye on any chat questions that are relevant or helpful, or
I got
pointing,
you. The
or
intern
pointing
will-
out things like that. Okay, Tyler. Tyler's stepping into that role.
The intern will do his job. The broadcast intern will do his job.
All right, so
Oh,
Minnesota.
and
There we
I
go.
need to get Vancouver out of there. There you go.
Okay, so 357, 369. This is Alamo City is on the outside.
Interesting.
Okay, so I'm guessing that happened because of they must have beaten Alamo City. They lost to Mexico City and they beat Fort Worth. So when Mexico City won, that dropped Alamo City out of the playoffs. So that's going to be important for Alamo City in these tiebreakers. Good thing to keep in mind. They would really like a Fort Worth win. That's going to help them out. So in this scenario of them losing, it's going to be Lou, San Diego, Alamo City, the first 3 out, followed by Vegas, and then let's see, Vancouver's yeah. So then we're back to Carolina not sharing any common opponents with Tulsa or Indy, and we're back to this in the same boat. So Indy followed by Tulsa, followed by Carolina. So in this scenario, Carolina is on the road against Vancouver in the 9-8 game. Tulsa at Mexico City, Indy at London, Vegas at Fort Worth. Let's check SOV at the top again. Well, actually, no. Fort Worth lost. But they're not a division winner. Right, Hunter? So
Correct.
they would slot down here.
Oh, yeah.
And then Fort Worth and Mexico City in this scenario, they will have Fort Worth won the division.
Yes.
And London beat Fort Worth. Right?
To answer, right.
Yes.
To answer Fowler's question in the chat, the only reason why Mexico City is not above London is because London is a divisional. Is both Fort Worth and London are both division winners.
There
That
you
is
go.
why they hold sway over Mexico City.
So, Mexico City would be 7th. Fort Worth would host Indy. London would host Vegas. So, 6-11 or 5-12, London and Vegas playing in both of those situations. And then we've got SOV down the board here. At the top, Arizona, Minnesota, Baltimore. First out is Arizona, so it's straight SOV again. So Arizona gets the bye once more.
Mm-hmm.
And then, yeah, Baltimore going to hang tight at 2. We seeing anything with scenario 2 that is puzzling?
Negative.
Well, looks good here.
Okay, so the big one here is Alamo City being out. And this one had Mexico City out, Louisiana and San Diego out in both of these scenarios. Okay, scenario number 3. The only difference is Tulsa beating Indy.
All right.
So that's going to be Tulsa 8-4, and Indy is 6-6. So
That puts Indy out.
that puts Indy totally out. We don't even have to list them. Well, I guess we can, so people don't know what happened to them. So Indy becomes kind of that new team out. Let's see. Minnesota still wins the division. We still have this situation. London and Fort Worth. Boy, that Monday night game between London and Fort Worth ended up mattering a lot.
Yeah.
Let me know, Hunter.
Yeah, you're good.
Alrighty, let's see what the old SOV meter draws up. Louisiana and Alamo City. You still... Ooh, we got it right at the line. We have an SOV tie. Let's we'll pop back to that. Louisiana is out. Okay, San Diego, Alamo City.
San Diego wins on the common games. You
They
can
did-
check, but it's 6-2 to 5-3.
They did not play each other.
Did not. West and South shared non-divisional, but did not play each other.
All right, so let's run through it just to be sure. Did San Diego play Baltimore?
Yes.
Okay. So that means San Diego played Charleston.
Correct.
And San Diego played DC.
Yes.
There. Okay, and then we've got the Atlantic teams. Alamo City played Carolina. And San Diego played Carolina. All right. And then we got Alamo City
Motor
played
City.
Motor City.
Motor
Yep.
City. And Queen City.
Yep.
And London. And Canton. And then the division games are not. And there you have it. San Diego 6-2. Alamo City 5-3.
So San Diego gets enough with common schedule.
And boy, that Alamo City lost to London late. That was the difference. So San Diego, you are not dead yet. Not certainly not. Alamo City is here. San Diego is 12.
And,
Perfect to whoever added the common games.
You're welcome.
Oh, Tyler? Okay. Thought it was Hunter.
Tyler, put verse ACA
Copy.
in that breaker. So San Diego is your 12. Okay. Then we've got Vegas and Carolina. They must have shared something.
well, and San Diego, because San Diego's the West. Carolina lost to San Diego.
Well, wait, hold on a minute. Then
yep.
that means that all four
Oh,
do
You're right.
do they share a division? Because we know that Vegas and San Diego and Alamo City share, but Carolina played,
shared the West
they shared the.
with the rest of the teams because Carolina played the South, the West, and their own. Oh, so I guess
So they don't all share any common opponents. right? San Diego.
Hold on.
San Diego and Vegas played the North, West, and Atlantic. Alamo City played the Atlantic, no North, and no West.
But Carolina played the Atlantic because they're in it, right?
So all of these teams played the Atlantic? That's
Yeah.
the common division. So actually, Carolina, they're so okay. Well, this is really interesting. So Carolina's division games, they won them all.
Yeah, they swept.
So in this scenario, Carolina is 4-0 in common games. Just gets better for the Skyhawks. Alamo City, what did they do against the Atlantic? They went 2-2. San Diego went
Also,
2 and 2.
1 and 2 because you can't count Carolina.
correct. But it's a minimum of 3, so the division applies.
Correct.
So they went 2-1. San Diego went 2-1 because you can't count the Carolina win. And then Alamo City went, can't count Carolina. So Alamo City went 1-2. San Diego went 2-1. And then what did Vegas do?
Vegas did.
I think they were 1 and 2.
We got 1
1
and
and 2. So either way,
Oh, yeah.
Carolina gets the common games sweep. They are the only team that won or lost against all common opponents. Correct?
That would be correct.
Yes.
So Carolina would still be slotted. That would be 10th. So Carolina gets 10th on that. I don't know that we've ever had this on this show. 4 different teams with a common division. CG sweep versus Vegas, San Diego, and Alamo City. That would be a sweep win. Okay, so now we're back to common games here again between Vegas, San Diego, and Alamo City, correct?
Yes.
So now that Carolina's out of the fold, we go back to Atlantic and what's the other one? The North applying?
Yes. Yeah, we go back to everything but the divisional schedule. I believe.
So
Yeah.
Vegas, fill them out. Oops, they lost to London. Vegas went 5-3. Alamo City went 5-3. San Diego went
6-2.
6-2. Hunter, that means does San Diego win the breaker? We go to the 5-3 first, right? We break that tie first.
Yeah, that's
Right.
how I was.
Because if
doing
San
as well,
Diego's
yeah.
got a head-to-head over somebody, or vice versa, that matters in a two-way more. So we've got
Right.
so San Diego's safe. Alamo City and Vegas is the tiebreaker. They did not play each other, correct?
Correct.
So that goes to SOV between Alamo City and Vegas. And
Yes.
Alamo City is worse. So Alamo City is 13. Right?
Yes.
So they lost CG to San Diego. And then San Diego and Vegas are left. And that's your head-to-head. Vegas won. Right?
So are you holding Carolina out because it's a common games? Oh yeah, because I guess
because well, the only reason why. So did Vegas beat Carolina?
Oh yeah.
Vegas did beat Carolina.
Yeah, that's what I was looking at initially. Yeah.
Right. And you always want head-to-head to apply. So
Carolina got swept by Vegas and San Diego.
Oh, interesting. Well, then yeah, they can't. Then the sweep win doesn't apply then, because they got swept in head-to-head by Vegas and San Diego.
Right, but it didn't matter until we got rid of Alamo.
Right. So we got rid of Alamo because Carolina was safe with the sweep win. And then Alamo lost to San Diego on... I'm sorry. Alamo City lost to Vegas.
Yeah, on a common games tie at 5-3. And San Diego was safe because they were 6-2.
Yeah, so then San Diego, Vegas, and Carolina... are in a three-way, and Carolina lost to them both.
Super chat from Skippy 199. How does this work when Carolina lost to Las Vegas, San Diego, and Alamo City?
Did they play Alamo City? Oh yeah, I guess they did.
Oh, they did. So they're out. They have a head-to-head sweep loss with all three of these teams.
So common games doesn't matter at that point.
That is a disaster for Carolina. They lost to Alamo City, San Diego, and Vegas. Woo! Don't want that scenario if you're Carolina. That's a disaster.
No.
So Carolina's 13. Wow, boy, did Alamo City get lucky. Okay, so that's my bad. I wasn't even looking at that. I didn't even think that was possible. So Carolina is Carolina's out on head-to-head sweep loss, which is a more important tiebreaker than common game sweep win. Isn't that crazy? So in common games, Carolina beat every team that all the others didn't, but then all the other teams beat Carolina. Wow. So
how do we want to go about scenarios 1 and 2 then after all that?
Well, scenario 2 has Tulsa and Indy in the fold.
Okay.
Whereas correct. Whereas scenario 3, Indy's 6-6 and Tulsa's 8-4. So by pulling them out of the scenario, it actually makes it really bad for Carolina. Carolina, as the storyline begins to percolate here tonight, Carolina's really cheering for Indy tomorrow.
Yeah.
Because they need Indy and Tulsa in here so that SOV matters more. Good night.
No, good eye.
Good
Good
eye.
I was going to say, wow. I mean, we're only in scenario 3. Don't get bent out of shape just yet. Right.
Do you want me to sound like Jacob Clear and say good day?
Yeah. So scenario 3 is a real bother. If Tulsa wins, that's a real bother for Alamo City, because with San Diego's loss tonight, Vegas's loss, and Alamo City's win, Carolina's in a bind.
Mm-hmm.
They got a problem.
Carolina, they don't want Alamo City or San Diego anywhere near the playoff picture if they can help it.
Well, but too late, because that's what has happened, right? So, okay, so now that Carolina's 13, we go to Alamo City, San Diego, and Vegas, and that's we're back where we started, right? So, in this case, it's Vegas and Alamo City tied at common games, which means that Alamo City is 12th. How are you seeing that, Hunter?
Yeah, that's how I'm seeing it. And then Vegas beats...
Vegas beats San Diego, right?
Yeah, that one, yeah.
Okay, and then, so Alamo City is CG tie versus San Diego, and SOV loss to San Diego.
To Vegas.
Bob Funk, $2 super chat. How many scenarios we got? We have 16. This, now that we know what to look for, things will move quicker. But this, the Indy Tulsa game means everything to these playoffs, or at least that's what it is seeming like right now here in scenario 3. Okay, so we're done with 7 and 5 madness. Vancouver's a division winner. They will get the 9 spot. So then we have Tulsa, Mexico City in a tie. Jack Wall, $5 super chat. In regards to the survivor pool, to quote Conor McGregor, I apologize to absolutely nobody. Congrats, Jack, on your $2,490 win, since you just gave me $5. So appreciate that. Tulsa, hey man, I'm just saying, I know you have 2,490 more. It'd be the greatest super chat in the history of the world. Mexico City and Tulsa are next at the 7-8. I kind of feel like can you spare some change guy on the side of the road. Mexico City, Tulsa. No common opponents.
Correct.
And Mexico City, worse SOV. So it's Tulsa 7. Mexico City 8. They would host Vancouver.
$2 super chat from Jack Wall. Plenty more where they came from.
Nice. Nice. Okay, so then London over Fort Worth. Arizona, Minnesota, Baltimore. Arizona's that order is all still the same. Fort Worth is yet to get a first round bye in any scenario. They would host San Diego 6-11, London, Alamo City in the 5-12, Vegas, Tulsa in the 10-7. And Carolina is a new team out. So we've had Carolina, Alamo City, Indy, Mexico City, all at one point. Out once. Tough night for Louisiana so far. They have not found a scenario in.
That's what Tyler was thinking earlier, too.
Are we ready to move to 4?
Yes. Yes.
Thank you for the whisper.
Whispering sweet nothing.
Yes. Okay, only difference in this scenario is that Fort Worth beats Tulsa.
What?
I'm sorry. That's terrible. Fort Worth beats Mexico City.
I've gone ahead and added all the different
Excellent.
wins and losses, so that's all good to go for the next for this scenario and for scenario 5. We're working on scenario 6 through 8 now.
Gotcha. Okay. So Vancouver, division winner, and London is a division winner. All of them are division winners. Indy is out. Let me know when you're ready, Hunter.
You're good.
Golly, that scenario 3 is just wild.
Yeah, it is.
Okay, back to 7 and 5 madness. And Lou is at the bottom. Let's see, what do we got? We got Carolina, Vegas, Alamo City, San Diego. Whoops. But, oh, did Carolina beat Mexico City?
Carolina lost to Mexico City. You know,
Oh, no.
Oh, no! They're out again! On a 5-way head-to-head loss sweep.
Mm-hmm.
Bruh.
It's looking more and more like Indy has to win for Carolina to be in the playoffs.
Bruh, that's crazy.
A 5-way head-to-head sweep is very Carolina.
Of
Jeez.
Of
Please
all
don't tell Prasad that.
of all the things I have seen on this show, I don't think I've ever been. I don't think we've ever seen a head-to-head sweep loss to 4 teams. Like,
Let alone 5.
that's bonkers.
Wow.
And unfortunately for Lou, well, unfortunately for Carolina too, if Lou's SOV was just a little bit better, they would totally destroy the whole thing and Carolina would be fine. But because Lou isn't involved and you break up the whole Indy Tulsa thing and Carolina's just left with their own sins, golly, that's rough.
In other news, Carolina misses the playoffs in the most Carolina way possible. Yeah.
Well, potentially, but that game tomorrow night. Wow, killer! I kind of wish that was Monday night now. Too late now.
Easy day of flex. No problem.
Okay, so then we're back to Alamo City, San Diego, Vegas.
Well, Mexico City, do they get added in there too?
Oh, yes, you are correct. Okay, so Mexico City's involved now. So now we need to figure out what their SOV is because these divisions didn't play each other. So it's the North. Loss. Win. Oh, I'm on the Atlantic. Atlantic. And then North. Couple wins. Another win. Oh, and a loss right at the end. 6-2. So Mexico's 6-2, Vegas is 5-3, Alamo City's 5-3, and San Diego's 6-2. So it goes to the 2 5-3 teams again. That's whoa, Michael Percoco. $49.99 super chat for years of Cam APF abuse coming to an end.
I thought that man was only an office with a picture of Andy Hamilton. I didn't expect him to come out with that.
That made my heart jump. That
Do the man, Coco. Do the man.
That is there. Yes, true. I almost feel like I just walked out of an abuse clinic.
Oh man!
And wow, that hit me in a certain emotional way.
He's been blinking twice for years, and no one's going to listen.
For Coco, thank you very much. That is very much
Make
appreciated.
Jack look like a cheapskate. Says Fox
Wow. Fox
You've
wins.
been called out, sir.
Fox wins the non-super chat of the night, I guess. And just like that, Jack Wall's $4.99 vanishes off of the.
Comedic timing is
You
unreal.
know what you have to do, Jack.
Oh my gosh! Please, don't encourage that sorcery. Okay, so Alamo City and he earned that. That Survivor pool was crazy this season. That was wild.
It was wild.
Okay, so Alamo City and Vegas tie has to be broken. They shared the North.
Well,
okay, they shared
it's still
everybody.
the same.
Yeah, it's still
Yeah.
the same. So we'll
So
go
it's-
to SOV.
Yeah.
Alamo City,
Alamo is out.
381. Yep. So Alamo is 11. Okay. Or 12, I mean. They're
Yeah.
12. So now it starts over. San Diego Gunny, 750 super chat to the 7-5 scenario show. Yeah. Yeah. That's perfect. Because that's what it is tonight. I'll tell you that. So Alamo City's 12. starts over. San Diego, Vegas, Mexico City. Mexico City's. Go ahead.
The other 5 and 3 is going to get knocked out now. Then
Correct. Which would be
Vegas.
Vegas. Yes. Vegas is 11. Boy, this is great for San Diego. They're in better shape than maybe we had thought coming into the night.
Yeah.
San Diego, Vegas. Vegas won, right? That's this.
Oh no,
Wait, we still have Mexico City. Sorry.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. It's
6 and 2 tie on common games.
Okay. So wait. So Vegas beats San Diego, but because it's a 3-way tie for common games, Vegas is out or
Correct.
next slotted. So they have a CG loss versus San Diego and Mexico City. They didn't play Mexico City, so they can't do anything with that head-to-head win over San Diego. Correct?
Yes.
So now we have San Diego, Mexico City, the 10-9. They were both 6 and 2.
Yes.
Okay, so they would go to SOV. Oh, 0.012. Mexico City is behind. San Diego's your 9. Wow.
That moves them up quite a bit.
SOV win versus Mex. Common games loss to both. Alamo City was they were CG tie versus Vegas and SOV loss to Vegas. Correct?
Yes.
Okay. So Mexico City's there. Division winner. Back to the SOVs. Fort Worth it's still all the same order. Hack, you're very quiet. I'm not seeing a first round bye here.
There's a game
I'm
coming.
not quiet. Tyler and Hunter are doing such a great job that I'm just spectating. I said thank you to Coco. I'm present. I've had like 2 Red Bulls
You are
the past
so
hour.
you are so testy. Just,
Me?
always
just
like that.
I'm
What?
just
He'd be less
Dude,
testy
what are
with
you
the first
talking
five.
I'm
about?
just I'm just messing.
Don't do it. Don't.
You should have heard him in fantasy this season.
That's right. You don't want to talk to me ever.
Apparently not. Okay.
Hey, thanks for letting me be here, though.
Whoa.
Okay. Okay.
Would Minnesota, back to real quick, Mickey brings up a good point. Minnesota-Arizona swap again?
Yeah. Correct. Okay. Perfect. So Fort Worth, Alamo City again in a 5-12. Vegas, London again 6-11. Tulsa, Mexico City, we've seen that, and then Vancouver, San Diego, an old divisional game at the 8-9. $4.99 Skip Super Chat. Hacker to say something mean about Cam. Go ahead, Hack.
Gladly. Cameron has the worst taste in ice cream.
You mean all of it?
Yes.
There's
Just,
not
he
an
has,
ice cream this man won't eat.
exactly. That's what I mean. He has the worst taste. He'll eat anything. Throw it on the ground, roll it in mud, he'll eat it. And he'll still think it tastes good, too. That's the problem. I've seen him do it. It's disgusting. It is disgusting.
Oh my god, that's not true. What's your favorite flavor, Hack, of ice cream, by the way?
I don't know. If you had to put me on the spot, I'd probably go with just basic vanilla. But
Terrible.
He's really
Terrible.
just trying to piss me off.
Right,
orange sherbet's good. I don't know. I don't eat
Orange
ice cream
sherbet
very
is
often.
not ice cream.
Well, then that shows you how much I like ice cream.
Gonna make fun about a man and his multi-talents and tasting ice cream, and then you have
Yeah, well, I like
vanilla.
the Dr. Pepper float, so like that's
Hey.
why I say vanilla.
I
'Cause
was-
I want Dr. Pepper in it.
I was okay with the roast. It was the vanilla as the favorite that.
Right? Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Well, again, I would do like a la mode, so it'd be like with a pie, so like peach cobbler
Oh,
with
nice.
vanilla
Okay,
ice
all right.
cream.
I can
So like
get behind that.
I don't just like eat ice cream out of the tub like somebody
that-
else.
That
got
would be
that
me.
fancy
That
taste.
would
Yeah.
be me.
Um,
Jason France, $4.99 super chat. Holy crap, do I enjoy this show? But holier crap does it put me to sleep. You know, I'm not even insulted. It is like this is like the nerdiest thing we do, and we do a lot of nerd stuff around here.
We do. 100%.
J Balmer $1.99 super chat. Cam say something mean to Hacker. Oh man. That's only $1.99, so I won't be overly harsh.
I just opened the door. You don't want to do that.
I don't know. What do I say that doesn't get me in trouble? Hack only talked to me for about 15 minutes at my wedding. Wish he would have spent more time with me. How's that, Hack?
I was having so much fun talking to Molinex and Dags and getting to know the rest of your family. So, I mean, yeah,
you didn't
that
need
is
me.
right there.
Oh, that's awesome.
All right, we should move on for all of the rest of our panel. Rochelle is somebody is probably cursing us. I'm just speculating. I don't want to get in trouble with another
I'll wait.
panelist. Okay, there you go. Perfect. Okay, so Min Care, Tulsa, Fort Worth, Min Care, Tulsa. Okay, so let's go back to scenario 1 as we go to 5. $4.99 Fox super chat. I absolutely love this show. Been looking forward to it since the last one. Nerds unite! My wife's in the other room going, yeah, no kidding.
I am not a nerd.
Well, there you go. See, people take offense to that. I do as well, but I don't know. It seems to be helping with the super chat, so I'll be a nerd. Okay, Hunter. So back to scenario. I'm sorry. Let's go to 8. So the only difference between 4 and 8 is Charleston beat Carolina. So you have Minnesota, Charleston, Tulsa, Fort Worth winning. $20 super chat. Bob Funk. Tell Hacker to shave off that Mario mustache, anyone. More mustache hate.
Bring it.
Hey,
Bring it.
from someone who can't honestly grow a decent mustache.
I can't either.
Keep growing it. You can't. You keep growing it for me, bud. You keep growing it.
I'm
for me.
honored to be in the presence of the mustache, but I would like to see Bob Funk bring a razor to the convention and chase Hacker around the floor with it. That
That's what I was gonna say. If you can chase me down, I'd like to see you try, big boy.
40-yard dash with Funk's electric razor and or a battery-powered razor
Like
and
football
Hacker.
with Hack's mustache.
$20, Bob.
Would that be considered
think
the
you can
scouting
tell me where
combine
to
for the
find
flag
me,
football
bro.
game?
The scouting combine for flag football. Challenge accepted, says Bob. All right, see you at the convention. Okay, Hunter, back to 8. Is it ready?
Yeah, you're good.
Okay, here we go. So Carolina lost, Indy lost. They're out in this scenario. So, Louisiana 0.012. They're just having a tough night. Let's see. Vancouver won the division. So they're a division winner. Okay.
This four pack on the bottom is the same way as the last one.
Let's apply. If that's true, then San Diego still has a better SOV over Mexico City. They do. And all the common games are all the same.
Yeah.
Right.
So Alamo, yes. So it's
And then at the
Alamo 12.
at the top, here's a division winner for London. And then we've got Arizona is your 5 on SOV. There you go, Hack. And Fort Worth's the 4. Minnesota's still the 3. Baltimore's the 2. Good night for Baltimore, too. They have not dropped, although if they get in a two-way with Fort Worth, they will. Okay, so Arizona is your new 5. That's different. Arizona, Alamo City is your 5-12. And then everything else is the same. Any questions on 8?
That's a rematch of last season, right? Arizona Alamo.
No,
Am I-
Alamo City did not make the playoffs last year. They were 6-6.
What am I thinking about?
You're thinking about Arizona Lone Star a couple seasons ago. Arizona put up 50, I think. Oh wait,
Might have been. No, that was 19. We did put up 50, but that was last season.
yeah, you're right. That is a 5-12 rematch. It was a 5-12 game too, wasn't it? Yogi's here.
I think so.
What's going on, Yogi? Oh, he just left. That was terrible timing. Yogi?
Okay, clicked the wrong button. That's all.
Was it?
Yeah,
What's happening, Yogi?
finally got all my updates done.
That's all right, man. We're only 5 in.
All right.
Plenty of time.
Yes. Yeah, he's right. That was a rematch from last year. Would be.
Awesome. Okay, scenario 7. Only difference from 8. Mexico City beats Fort Worth. I don't know why I was thinking that Alamo City didn't make the playoffs last season. I must have been confusing them with another 6-16. Maybe it was the rebrand or all that stuff. I don't know. Apologies. I think I said it on TV earlier too. For Coco's 50 Super hanging on. Dude's gonna make it through the whole show. It's awesome.
That was wild.
I'm just glad. Sometimes Prococo's hard to read, and I always just think he's mad at me for some reason. So I'm just glad that he recognizes the abuse and is there for me. Makes me feel a lot better about our friendship. Not the money, just the care. Andy says he is. Well, okay. Well, that's called mixed messaging. I don't know what to think. Hunter, you good?
Yep.
Okay, so with Mexico City in the 8-4 fold, we've got we have London. No, we have London at the 5, Fort Worth at the 6 as division winners. Okay, we got, let's see, Lou again. They're out. I hope there's some kind of scenario for them to get in. I hope they're not eliminated by the end of the night. Then we got another division winner here. Let's go back up to 3. This is looking similar. Alamo City has a common games tie with San Diego. And then SOV lost to San Diego. That is not true. Now the SOVs are tied. So we go to SOS.
Hold on 1 second. You so it's Las Vegas, Alamo, and San Diego?
Correct. Vegas, I believe, is 6-2 in common games. San
no.
Diego and Alamo City are 5-3. Is that incorrect?
Alamo is 5-3. Vegas is 5-3. San Diego 6-2.
So Alamo City and San Diego.
Vegas. Alamo City and Vegas will tie on common games, and then Vegas will break that on strength of victory. So Alamo 12, And then San Diego lost to Vegas. Yes.
I'm just trying to figure out why is it different?
That should be the same as
So it is the same.
when they're straddling.
So Alamo City's 12.
Hold on.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, I see what I did.
Jack Wall with a $5 super chat. Someone tell Norwood to pull back on the enthusiasm. It's a little jarring. This late.
When you're looking at numbers, there is no enthusiasm.
You just got to get a few into Hunter, and then he'll talk even slower, and it's great.
You ever thought about commentating golf?
Oh, wow.
Ooh. I like that idea.
Hunter, care to respond?
Maybe. I have never tried.
Probably
We'll see at the
pretty
16th
good.
Maybe-
on Augusta.
Yeah.
If we do Top Golf at the convention,
I like
I
it.
will commentate whoever plays.
Please do.
Okay.
Gonna hold you to that. Anyway,
It's, okay, so it is the same. Alamo City 12. Vegas beats San Diego head-to-head.
Mhm.
And then Mexico City Tulsa was SOV for Tulsa. Is that still true? Yes. So that's the same. Then we have Arizona, Minnesota, Baltimore. So scenario 3 and scenario 7 are exactly the same, which means that the Carolina-Charleston game does not matter to that scenario. It's the exact same
Right.
thing. Which is interesting, right? Because in one, Carolina's winning, and it still doesn't matter because of all the losses to all the wrong people.
Right.
Just unbelievable. Okay, 7 is done. We are 6 through. Now we are on to scenario 6. The only difference between 6 and 7 is that Indy wins. Carolina gets to have some fun again. Thank you to all who are staying up late and chilling with us. Curtis on the East Coast. Well, Eastern time zone, I guess.
yeah.
Hunter, you on the East? Yogi is.
Yeah.
So we
I'm
got
on the East.
We have 3
I got-
East Coasters here and a few Centrals.
I got work at 5.5 hours.
Oh my God,
Yeah.
bro, we gotta move. We can't keep you up this late. Okay, you good?
Yeah.
Okay. Lou is down again. Okay, so it's Lou. SOV. Then we have San Diego, Alamo City, Vegas. So that's the same situation as 7.
But we have Tulsa Indy in there now.
Oh, right. Perfect. So we can't do it. Because
Yeah.
Yeah, because with them in the mix, that doesn't apply. So it goes to Alamo City and San Diego, who are tied at SOV. So
Yes.
San Diego's out on strength of schedule?
San Diego's in on common games.
Oh, that's right. San Diego 6 and 2
versus 5 and 3.
versus
Yep.
5 and 3, and that's bigger. That's obviously a better tiebreaker than strength of schedule. So Alamo City's out.
And San Diego's in.
And San Diego's in. Common Games win versus ACA. And Indy climbs. Vancouver's a division winner. So then we have Tulsa, Vegas, Indy. No Common Games there, right?
And San Diego or no San Diego because they're out on strength of victory out of the top 3.
Well, San Diego got the Common Games win over Alamo City because they were tied at SOV. Correct,
Right.
Hunter?
Yeah, he's saying, yeah, they're gonna stay at 12 because strength of victory. Yes, Tyler.
Okay, great. Copy. Thank you.
Oh, I see what you're saying. So they got to 12 because of Alamo City, but they're going to stay at 12
Yes, due
Right.
to their strength of victory.
due to strength of victory. Okay. So Indy, Tulsa, Vegas, no common opponents. Vegas ruins that, right?
Yes.
So
Yes.
SOV is Vegas the worst. 393. So it's going to be Las Vegas at 11. I sense a head-to-head coming on. Tulsa, Indy.
Split.
Central Division.
Well, they play this week.
Oh.
Well, in this scenario, you're having.
in this scenario, it's a split.
Yeah, 'cause
so
Tulsa beat Indy week 2.
because this is not deciding the division, it's deciding a wild card game. It doesn't go to division record. It'll go to common games, which are the same.
Common, yeah.
They're all the same, right? Because they split each other, so they finished 6-4 against everyone else,
Right.
right? So SOV, Tulsa's ahead.
Yes.
Okay. Then it's London over Fort Worth due to head-to-head. And then Mexico is alone at 7. By the way, if anybody's wondering, Fort Worth over Mexico City, it comes down to strength of victory, which Fort Worth is beating Mexico City on in every scenario. Correct, Hunter? We did all that already.
Yeah, I looked last week, I think, but they should. I've been looking, but they should be higher in every scenario. I think at this point, there's maybe one game that really would. Yeah, I think there's only like one game that can swing Mexico City's way, maybe.
Mhm.
But I think
Yeah.
at this point, it's just them winning.
Right. So then we're back to Arizona, Minnesota, Baltimore at the top on SOB. I think that concludes 6. Is that right?
Yeah, it should be.
So we got Vancouver, Tulsa, Indy, Mexico City. Talk about two different styles.
Yeah.
Vegas, Fort Worth, San Diego, London. Boy, that's a rematch from week 1.
Yes, it is. And San Diego had like 4 injuries in that game.
And they still won.
Mhm.
Okay, that's 6. Difference between 6 and 5 is Fort Worth winning. Thank you, Tyler, for going through and getting all the records changed. Much appreciated.
Anytime.
Fort
Tyler
Worth
wants
has
to
a
be
bye
your
in this
intern now,
division.
Cam.
Yes.
Say again, Rochelle?
Tyler wants to be your intern now. Wants to quit Mike Dags.
Mike Dax doesn't treat him very well. And I can say that because I know that old man is sleeping. $5 super chat from Jack Wall. I think the question we need to be asking is which teams are going to make the playoffs. Well, that's true. with that being said, I think who have we seen not eliminated if they're at 7-5?
Vancouver.
Also,
Well, they're in a division.
They're a division winner. Yep.
But Tulsa,
yeah, I think Tulsa.
Tulsa, in every scenario we've done, is in at 7-5. Vegas.
Vegas, yeah.
Vegas so far is in every scenario at 7-5. So,
Indy.
Strength of victories.
no, Indy is out with a loss, so can't. Oh, but yeah, if they get to
In with the
7-5,
7-5.
yeah.
Yeah.
What's interesting is that Tulsa could be in, but and they don't even have to win tomorrow, and they don't even have to worry. So, but we'll see how it goes down the road. Ready, Hunter?
Yes.
Okay, scenario 5. Lou and Mexico City are both down here, but Mexico City's got a bunch of common games, but because Indy and Tulsa are involved, that doesn't apply, correct?
Correct.
Yes.
So that's going to keep Mexico City out. So it's Lou and Mexico City. They share no common games, so it's Lou followed by Mexico City, correct, Hunter?
Yes.
So you've got there we go. Got Lou, Mexico City. So for Mexico City, it's looking like they really can't have maybe Minnesota, Indy, and Fort Worth. If they all win, that's going to be a problem for them. Okay, so now we're at these 5. No common opponents there. This is going to be an SOV mess again, just like scenario 1. So San Diego's 12. And then Alamo City is 11. And then Vegas
10.
is 10.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and then in the Tulsa Indy scenario,
We still have a split.
so it goes to
Tulsa
SOV, which Tulsa wins. Okay. Perfect. Vancouver's your division winner at 7. London's your division winner at 6. Then we're back to someone being on the outside. That's Arizona in this case, like Rochelle said.
You need to flip Fort Worth and London.
Well, in this scenario, you have 9 wins. So you're good.
I didn't see that. Sorry.
Arizona's actually going to be the 5, and you get a bye in this one. So it's Arizona, Fort Worth, Minnesota, Baltimore. Arizona, Fort Worth, Minnesota. Well, Minnesota and Baltimore in all situations are your 2-3. Wouldn't that be a great semifinal rematch? Minnesota, the only team that beat them 2 seasons ago.
Mm-hmm.
Fort Worth would also probably like a stab at them too. So here it's Arizona, San Diego, 5-12. Ooh, Western matchup. London, Alamo City, Vegas, Vancouver, Tulsa, Indy in an 8-9 rematch of Week 14. How about that? $2 super chat, Jack Wall. Get Hacker out of there. Well, I don't think I'm not going to do that.
He's just mad. He's just mad because the better half of Premier Stats Group is here tonight, and he's sitting on the sideline like always.
Oh.
Mm.
Ooh.
Mm.
Yikes. That's brutal.
I'm here for it.
No bars hole.
Min, Charles, Indy, Fort Worth. Charleston, Indy, Fort Worth. Charleston, Indy, Fort Worth. That is down here. So we're going to go from 5 to 13. The only difference between 5 and 13. So, first off, we've completed the first half. In every single one of these scenarios, Minnesota won. That's why you've seen Minnesota as the 3. So, if Minnesota wins tomorrow, they are your 3 seed, ladies and gentlemen. Let's see what happens if they lose. So, difference between 5 and 13 is Sioux Falls beats Minnesota. Jack Wall, sad winning the survivor pool, in case anyone forgot. Yeah, I don't think Jack is too bent out of shape tonight. A funny feeling. So we got Vancouver. Let's see. Minnesota still wins the division, so they're going to be in a tie with London.
Let's see. We'll deal with that later.
Jason, I am starving, by the way. Bob Funk, $2 super chat. Way to go against your team, Jack. Ugh. Teammates squabbling now. It's getting testy in here.
Playoff time.
Teammates.
Playoff time. Well, Bob Funk and Jack
Bob
Wall.
Funk's a free agent now,
Well,
so what do you mean?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what I'm talking about. Hunter?
Yeah, you're good.
Okay. Here we go. So Carolina's out because they lost. We got 2 7-5 teams out. And we start with Lou and Mex again. Tulsa and Indy are involved, so it's going to be Lou followed by Mex once more. That's what we saw in... and this one is actually SOV tie versus Mex. SOS loss versus Mex. There you go. Perfect. Okay, then we got all these teams again. So San Diego's 12 on SOV. Alamo City's 11 on SOV. Vegas is 10 on SOV. Indy is 9 on SOV. And Tulsa's 8. So another 9-8 matchup there. And Vancouver's the 7. Vancouver loves all these 7-5 teams because it means they get a home playoff game.
Mm-hmm.
There are other scenarios where have they had a home playoff game every time? I think they have.
Yeah, I believe so.
No, they were 9 here. Bunch of 8-4 teams. So, not a foregone conclusion. Okay. Then we have London and Minnesota. 2 division winners tied. Any common games? No.
Oh, yeah, because they're in that.
They played opposite schedules.
Yeah.
So, SOV goes to Minnesota. London is 6. Minnesota's 5. And then...
Actually, that's going to do this.
Yeah, Arizona's... That's right. Here's the Fort Worth. Fort Worth loves this. So, Arizona... Did Arizona play Fort Worth?
No.
No.
We played the South last season.
But Arizona's 4th on SOV. Because they don't... Do they share any? I think they share common opponents here. This 3-way tie?
We would share common opponents, yes.
Yeah, Arizona, Baltimore, and Fort Worth played which division? Arizona and Fort Worth both played the North.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
Baltimore.
I'm sorry. They played the Atlantic. They all played the Atlantic. Is that the common game? Or
No. Or
Fort Worth played the Atlantic because they played Baltimore.
Arizona played the Atlantic. They played Baltimore.
Yeah. And then Baltimore played the Atlantic because they're Baltimore.
okay, so we have the Atlantic, and then Arizona played the North. Fort Worth played the North.
The North.
Did Baltimore play the North? I don't think so.
No.
Yeah, I think the common division is Atlantic. I think that's the only one they share.
Yeah.
Baltimore played the South.
So Arizona, they beat Carolina, lost to Baltimore. Oh, but the Baltimore game doesn't count, right?
Yeah.
But they
right.
lost to Charleston.
Then we
They
beat DC.
They beat DC. So then Fort Worth beat Charleston and Baltimore.
Baltimore doesn't count.
Oh, you're right. Baltimore doesn't count. Charleston, they lost to Carolina. And they beat DC. I did that wrong. 2-1, 2-1, and then Baltimore
2-1 with the loss to Carolina.
2-1. So they're all the same. Common games are all the same. Is that right?
Yep, correct.
Okay, so that doesn't matter. So it goes to SOV, which puts Arizona 4. So this would be CG tie, SOV loss, and then this would be head-to-head win versus Baltimore. So Fort Worth is your 2 seed. That's something.
Mm-hmm.
Fox Highwind. Baltimore would be 4th here because they lost to DC 2. They played them twice.
Good guy. Good eye. Good eye.
Yep, that's
So
true.
Baltimore is 2-2. Good eye, Fox. So in the common games,
Oh, interesting.
Baltimore is 4.
2.
So,
Yeah, because they'd be
Yep.
Right.
they'd be at 50%, and then us and Fort Worth would be at
right. So
67.
so they would be the
yes.
worst. So they would be the 4. And then Fort Worth, Arizona, they share.
We have a bunch of common games.
Yeah, they share multiple divisions. So now Baltimore is included in the mix. Fort Worth has a win. Where are they? There they are. And they also share the North. So Fort Worth beat all these teams. They lost to London. And then Arizona beat all those teams. Oh, Arizona swept the North. Queen City, Motor City, London, Canton. So Arizona is 6-2, and Fort Worth is 6-2.
Yep.
So then it goes to SOV between Fort Worth and Arizona, and Fort Worth wins.
Mm-hmm.
So Fort Worth is your 2.
Yep.
So Fort Worth's your 2 on a CG tie with Arizona and a SOV win
Right.
over Arizona. Okay. Perfect.
Oh, man.
That's wild. Baltimore be your 4 there.
And if you start to notice the trend, there's a game that changes the SOVs on Arizona Fort Worth. They basically flip flop depending on the result.
Interesting.
It's the Carolina game.
And that would be because Fort Worth beat Charleston and Arizona didn't.
And we beat Carolina and they didn't.
Oh. Well, then it
Yeah.
then it should cancel then, I would think.
Well, no. If Carolina wins, then we get positive strength of victory.
Right. Correct. It's increasing the
And-
strength of victory.
And since Fort Worth lost to Carolina, they don't get anything out of that.
Oh, right. It's a double.
But-
It's a double whammy.
Yeah.
It's a double
Right.
whammy. Yeah.
Right.
Charleston
Okay.
wins, they get the boost. We get nothing because we lost.
So Fort Worth wants Charleston to win. Arizona wants Carolina to win.
Yes.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yep. That makes sense to me. So in this game, it would be Minnesota-San Diego, your 5-12. Talk about a big I mean, Minnesota, and neither team has ever won a playoff game. So
Yeah.
that
History
would,
either way there.
that would be really interesting. Okay, so that's 13. So let's go to 14 now. Difference between 13 and 14 is Mexico City win.
Oh, that's interesting.
So you have three
Oh,
division winners at
my.
8 and 4. So Baltimore would be the 2 head-to-head win versus Arizona.
And then
Yeah, Aztecs would be the 7. Vancouver would be the 8.
Yes, that actually goes. Right, yeah, because they're gonna win.
Zach, talking about the scenarios we missed, all we're doing is we're just going through so that we only have to change one game at a time. And so that's why we don't necessarily go in order. But we'll come back around.
I like to play Snake around here.
Yep. Snake is fun. Our old Nokia phones are charging as we speak.
Pause.
All right.
Back.
Good, Hunter?
Yes.
All right. So we've got 6, 7, and 5 teams. We have not done this scenario yet because we haven't done 10. So here we go. We have 6, 7, and 5 teams. Guys, I don't think Louisiana is going to make the play. I think they're out. I mean, they just
It's looking more and more like it, yeah.
they are just consistently at the bottom, which I always hate. I like when teams have at least, you know, a good chance.
A sliver,
Or a chance.
Yeah, a chance is what I meant. What'd you say, Rochelle?
a sliver of hope.
Yeah, yeah.
A scenario in their favor. Yes.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so we've got who's going to be out? Tulsa, Indy, Vegas, Alamo City, San Diego. It's SOV. So we're back to San Diego, Alamo City again on the fringe.
Yeah, on the column games.
Yeah.
In which San Diego wins that.
Yep.
Mhm.
And that puts them at 12. At least in this.
Yep.
So Alamo City's out. Okay. And then San Diego's the worst SOV of all of them, so they're 12. So we're down to Vegas, Indy, Tulsa. They don't share any. Goes to SOV, so that's Vegas. We've been here before.
So we have to root for Fort Worth. Heaven forbid.
At the end of the show, we'll break down each team's
Yeah.
paths, and then we will adjourn. Tulsa's still up on Indy and SOV. Boy, just barely. So,
Mhm.
then we have Minnesota, Fort Worth, London. They are all division winners. They are all 8 and 4. And they do not have common opponents because Minnesota doesn't. But they also have the higher SOV, Hunter. We were talking about this the other day, right? So they're going to have the SOV sweep.
Oh,
Because
okay, yeah.
Fort Worth and London don't have anything with Minnesota. Since Minnesota's the better SOV, we know they're 4.
Yes.
Yes.
So Minnesota gets the first round bye on an SOV sweep. And then London beat them head to head.
You want to explain that? Or like the concept?
Yeah. So an SOV sweep, you've got Minnesota, London, and Fort Worth here. Minnesota has the best SOV, but that is the most... That's the most important tiebreaker they share with either London or Fort Worth. So because they're ahead of them, we can safely say that Minnesota is 4 and then break the tie with London and Fort Worth. Because if you compare Fort Worth and Minnesota, they share no common opponents, so it's SOV. If you compare London and Minnesota, they share no common opponents, so it's SOV. So Minnesota is the 4 in that situation. And then London, that big game, that big win over Fort Worth. Fort Worth falls to 6. I think that's the lowest I've seen them tonight. That's San Diego, London, Fort Worth, Vegas, Indy, Mexico City, Vancouver, Tulsa. Okay, so we are on to 15. The only difference between 14 and 15 is that Tulsa wins.
Well, happy Sunday, everybody. For everyone in Central.
Yep, it is Sunday now.
All y'all living in the past.
Whatever, man. You're gonna die sooner.
An hour sooner.
Is that
Says
how
you,
that
we're
works?
coming to visit you.
Oh, that's gonna be a fun championship.
Yeah, it is.
All right.
Oh, that doesn't make any sense. Ready?
Yes.
So now we've got Louisiana, San Diego, Alamo City, and Vegas. And they're still behind. Okay. San Diego,
Louisiana
Alamo...
doesn't have a route through Alamo City here.
No, they don't share any common opponents with any of those 3 teams.
Yeah, so
Right.
that's SOV and they lose. Okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
So now we're back to the Alamo City, San Diego, Vegas nonsense that we saw here
9.
in 7.
So,
Vegas head-to-head over San Diego. And Alamo City common games tie and a SOV loss. Well, no, they're
Yes.
they're tied now.
Well, it's a common games tie with Vegas.
Why can't I compute this tonight? I'm having so much problem. Alamo City's 5-3. San
Diego's
is
6 and 2.
So it's Alamo City and Vegas that are tied. And so Alamo City loses to Vegas on SOV. So it's not SOV lost to San Diego. It's SOV lost to Vegas. And then, okay. Maybe that's what was tripping me up earlier.
I'm gonna go up and change the one in scenario 7 then to match. Or is that one still San Diego?
No, that would be Vegas too. Yeah, maybe that's what was bothering me. Okay, 12, 11, 10, 9. You got Tulsa, Mexico City is the 7-8 as non-division winners. And that should be a SOV win for Tulsa.
Yes.
Hawks High went out here like McLaren in 2020. Scenario 7, Lando. Scenario 7. Scenario 3 for Mickey. Vegas and Tulsa haven't been ruled out. The one that he's talking about. No, neither of them are. Both of them are still in. Hey, those are still in scenario 3.
396, 417. They're still behind.
Yep.
So then London,
Head to head.
yeah, London, Fort Worth, Minnesota. We just did that.
Oh, I see what they're saying.
SOV sweep for Minnesota. Does that still apply?
Yep.
Yes. And then Fort Worth. Nope. London, Fort Worth. Okay. And then Baltimore, beat Arizona.
Head to head win.
Lots of head-to-heads in there. That's a clean.
Oh yeah.
That's pretty clean. Okay, on to 16. What do we have? We have 16, 9, and 9, 10, 11, 12. So we have 5 left. We're about to
Not too bad.
We're about to snake back up to the next row and finish it off with 10, I think. Okay, so 16 and 15. The only difference is Fort Worth wins.
Yay.
This brings back in scenario 13's Fort Worth potentially being number 2 seed. Ooh. Scenario 15, is Tulsa the Central Division winner, or is Minnesota?
Oh, that's right.
In the one we're
Tulsa-
currently in?
No, 15.
No, before.
Tulsa beat Minnesota head-to-head. They are
Is
the
that-
division winner.
Is that a sweep?
Yeah, they beat them one
Yeah,
time.
Okay, yep.
Oh, well that totally takes care of all that. So for that to happen, remember, it's a Sioux Falls. I forgot about that. It's a Sioux Falls win and a Tulsa loss, which we haven't done any of those yet. That's our first. Who said that in the chat? Great job. was that?
Mickey.
Mickey.
A Minnesota own.
Wow,
Mickey,
good
you're betraying your
good
own.
stuff. Well, we would have caught it eventually, but at least we caught it on the first one. Okay, so we got to go back to 15 here because Minnesota is your non-division winner.
Okay, give me 1 second. I'm already back.
Make sure to get Mex with the win.
I think I just went back. Yeah, I got Mexico with the win. Charleston with the win. Sioux Falls with the win, and Tulsa with the win.
Say again.
Mexico City, Charleston, Sioux Falls, Tulsa.
Okay, yes, that's correct. Okay, so we've got Minnesota and Mexico City as your non-division winners at 8 and 4. They do not share any common opponents, so it's SOV, right?
Give me 2 seconds. This is a little wonky. Okay, so now, yeah.
No common opponents. Mexico City is behind.
Correct. Yes.
Yeah, because there's the same with Tulsa.
So this now creates the scenario: in a Minnesota loss, they need Indy to win, and they still claim the division. But if Minnesota lose and Tulsa win,
That's correct.
it's Tulsa's division.
That's correct. So now we got Tulsa, London, Fort Worth. Now does Tulsa get the SOV sweep? They do. Well, that's clean. So Tulsa is your 4 using the same principle. How about them apples? This is a good night for Tulsa, ladies and gentlemen. After the pain they suffered from last season.
Oof. Yeah, you know who's in that spot right now?
Yeah, that's Louisiana. They have transferred their pain. By the way, didn't Tulsa play Lou?
I believe
They
so.
did, and Lou lost to him. Well, you know, sometimes games matter.
Just throw a little salt in the wound. No problem.
I didn't know. I was looking at it.
Oh,
Curiosity.
yeah, sure.
I was.
It's gonna make
Don't be making my life worse for no reason.
it's just gonna make later this morning even more interesting.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, Tulsa's your 4. That's correct, everyone, right? Then London beat Fort Worth.
Mm-hmm.
And then, okay.
Is it too much to say that Louisiana went up against Tulsa and they lose?
That is terrible.
Oh.
That is terrible. I do
What
not.
is
I do not
being you?
endorse that. That is. What do they say on radio? Like views and opinions of those that have. I don't know.
We need a disclaimer for Curtis, is what you're getting at.
This is the
Probably.
presentation of the
Yeah.
Simulation Football League.
Plain belief
That's
as
the
a
same
newcomer.
opinion as people on this panel.
As a newcomer to the league, trying to figure out how this works, watching this has devastated my brain. I'm going to need a drink now. Plain, we feel you. Sorry about that. At least you know
Welcome.
that. At least you know we're meticulous and we know what we're talking about most of the time.
There you go.
Okay, so back to 16, I guess. Hunter, Fort Worth instead of Mexico City. Are we there?
I'm gonna do it right now. So now it's Fort Worth winning. You're saying?
Correct. Yes. Skippy
Okay.
499 super chat. Curtis, I've been sent to tell you you're fired.
Oh.
You're fired. Waterboy. Fired.
That's gonna be there.
Well, that's a weird Minnesota. I think.
Hey, depending upon what they do in the playoffs, maybe they can start calling themselves Winnesota.
Ooh. I like that.
Or if
I
they
think it's
lose,
the one
it'll
time
be
I'll agree with
Minnesota.
Kirk Cousins. I like that.
Winnesota. God, you are negative Nancy tonight, Curtis. Jeez.
I've been called worse by you.
There's Bachagalupi.
By
The,
you.
the views in it, I don't know what you're talking about. The views and opinions of the following do not necessarily, it scrolled away. The views and opinions of the following do not necessarily coincide with those of the SFL and their sponsors. Yes, that's it, Christian. Perfect.
Lol.
Fox, don't quit your day job, Cam. Well, for all your sakes, I would certainly hope not. Okay, so 16, we've got 5 teams. Lou is out. Payne. San Diego, Alabama. Okay, so we're back to this 4-way tie here of common opponents. San Diego, Alamo City, Vegas, Mexico City. Where did we see that? This right here, scenario 8. I just
Yeah,
want
so
to
it's.
I just want to see if it all applies again. Let's go.
Should be what? So San Diego, Mexico City, 6-2 common games,
Correct.
and then
does San
Vegas.
Diego have the SOV over Mexico?
yes,
Yes.
and Vegas is tied common games with Alamo, and they have the strength of victory over Alamo. So I
Yes,
believe
correct.
it should be.
Wow, that was easy.
So
they get these at the
Alamo
end.
12.
Wow, Alamo City would play Tulsa. Oh no, we haven't gotten there yet. Whew.
Not even going up yet.
I haven't even got there yet.
Don't skip ahead, Cam.
Sorry. Eh,
Hard not to do.
must leave this chair. Okay, Tulsa, London is the 5-6.
No yawning, Cam.
I
Come on.
did, no, it was a stroke. I'm fine. Tulsa and London, no common opponents, and Tulsa has a better SOV.
Yep.
Yeah.
Tulsa's your 5. Then we get to Fort Worth, Arizona, Baltimore. We saw that in scenario 13. And that's all that. Boom. Fort Worth's your 2. As long as Arizona still loses to Fort Worth and SOV.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. 16 is done. We have 3 more to go.
Going quicker than it did last season.
The difference between 16 and 12 is Charleston loses. Carolina's your winner in this scenario.
This is the one I want.
It's the one you want to see?
Yeah.
Why is that, Hunter?
Arizona's rooting for Carolina.
Yeah,
Yeah.
a little bias, huh?
Sometimes,
I'll just say it,
sometimes the numbers are biased.
There's no bias here. Go Carolina.
Thank you, Rochelle.
And I never thought I'd be rooting for Carolina.
Let me know when you're ready.
I think, yeah. Wait. Yeah, it should be the same. 6. Yeah, you should be good. Oh, actually, never mind. Sorry. I see what happened. Okay, go ahead.
All right. Lou.
This would go back to scenario 13, SOV tie versus Mexico City.
No,
this
this
is
is
straight up SOV
Carolina
loss.
gone. This is what happened earlier. The head-to-head sweep loss.
Ooh.
Oh, right.
That.
So even if Carolina were to win, they'd go up into head-to-head hell essentially.
Yeah, Carolina's in head-to-head hell if Tulsa and Fort Worth win. If Tulsa and Fort Worth win and they also win, they're out. No, actually, it's not it's just if Tulsa wins. If Carolina wins and Tulsa wins, I think they're out. I think that's the scenario. That's a 25% chance. 25% chance that Carolina is out of the playoffs. It happens. No, 75% chance because they could lose. So Carolina has a 25% chance to make the playoffs. They have to win, and they need an Indy win. And if they get that, they're in the playoffs.
Unreal.
Carolina
After the
win
season
and an
they
Indy
had.
win. That's what they need.
Yep. Wow.
Man, that's crazy.
Hard luck, Skyhawks.
Oh man, that game's gonna be wild tomorrow. Okay, so let's make sure this is all the same. Alamo City is a common game tie with Vegas, and they lose the SOV to Vegas. Is that true?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Vegas has a common games loss to Mexico City and San Diego. Is that true?
Yes.
Mexico City was 6-2 as well, weren't they?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, and then San Diego has an SOV win over Mexico City. Is that true?
Right.
Okay. Then we're done there. London, Tulsa. Does Tulsa still have the SOV over London?
Yes.
Yes. And Fort Worth, Baltimore, Arizona. Does Fort Worth still have SOV over Arizona?
No.
No. Okay, then. So Baltimore loses in common games, right? To both Arizona and Fort Worth.
Yes.
But
500 to 667, correct.
But Arizona flips with Fort Worth, and Arizona is your 2 seed because Carolina won.
Wait.
We screw something up.
I knew we couldn't make it. You had to add Baltimore back in. to the common games that they had.
Weren't they 2-2 versus 2-1 and 2-1?
Oh,
Well, no, yeah, we were both 2-1, but Arizona loses to Baltimore. Fort Worth beats them. So Fort Worth's 3-1.
6-2 in that scenario, Hunter.
yeah,
and
no,
common
it goes-
games.
Yeah,
Oh,
you're
sorry.
right.
Yeah.
We were both 6-2 in that scenario.
You're right.
All good. Carry on.
Good call, Hack.
Yep.
Yeah, so it went to 6-2. That's why SOV applies in this case, because Carolina won, Arizona's on top, whereas when Charleston won, Fort Worth was on top.
Correct.
Right. So that so we know the Carolina Charleston game affects Arizona Fort Worth stuff. If Fort Worth wins, we know the Tulsa Indy affects Carolina and all that madness at the bottom. Okay, so that's 12. Everybody good on 12.
Yes.
Good here.
2 left. 11 and 10. The only difference between 11 and 12 is Mexico City wins. And this should be similar to 15. You got Carolina in the mix again. It's starting to become clear, folks.
It's clear as mud.
Ready,
Need one of
Hunter?
those 5-hour energy shots soon.
Yeah.
Almost
Yeah,
there.
we're good.
Okay. Blue. Tyler has left us, apparently. I think his internet may have crapped out.
Turn his computer off.
He turned it off.
The cat did, yeah. I was playing.
Maybe.
My cat does it to me all the time. It wouldn't surprise me.
Okay, so Lou, and then your same stuff. It's all this. Oh, but Mexico City's not involved. So it's that would be scenario 3. This one. So with Mexico City not involved, it still doesn't matter. They still lost to Alamo City, San Diego, and Vegas. So Alamo City has the common games tie with San Diego, correct?
Vegas.
Alamo City has the common games tie with Vegas?
Yes. We've gone over this.
Yeah.
Well, I pulled this from scenario 3, and we said they had a tie with San Diego. So we may need to do some revisions over there. Alamo City has a common games tie with Vegas and a SOV loss to Vegas.
Correct.
And then Vegas beats San Diego head-to-head.
Yes.
See, okay, so here we had common games tie with San Diego again, but that's just not true. Alamo City's tied with Vegas because they're both from. Okay. See, they were all wrong. We got them. Oh, that's not what I told you to do. Okay, common games tie with Vegas. They lost on SOV. Then Vegas beat San Diego head-to-head. Vancouver won the division. Minnesota and Mexico City are... well, Mexico City got closer. They still couldn't beat them. Mexico City and Minnesota are your non-division winners. And Minnesota has a SOV win over Mex. Is that true?
Yes.
Okay. Fort Worth, London, Tulsa are your 8 and 4 division winners. And Tulsa has a SOV sweep. Does that still apply?
Yes.
And then Baltimore beat Arizona head to head. That's it. Finally, scenario 10. The only difference is Indy wins over Tulsa. Tyler, did you say timeout? Scenarios 1 and 2? What's that for?
Negative. I'm responding to Blake Prine, aka Prine Time here in chat. He was wondering if San Diego was safe. And currently, San Diego's out in scenarios 1 and 2. That's when Carolina and Indianapolis win.
Gotcha.
So it's the exact opposite of Carolina and Tulsa win. Carolina and Tulsa win, Carolina out. Carolina Indy win, San Diego out.
Hunter, you got that? The Indy win? You ready?
Yes. Give me actually 2 seconds. Get Vancouver out of there.
Blake's a good dude. For those in the community that may not know, Prime Time's a good guy.
Absolutely.
All right, you're good to go.
So, we have a gigantic logjam. 7 teams. It's 7 and 5. And Lou is still at the bottom.
Speaking of San Diego not being safe.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that was the biggest shocker of the night for me because I thought San Diego was going to be in the Lou position, but it turns out that they weren't. Incredibly fortunate stuff for them.
It's strictly because of the common games.
Yeah, they did a lot of good work in CG for sure. Okay, then after Lou, it's Alamo City and San Diego.
San Diego wins that via common games, 6 and 2 versus 5 and 3.
Right, but they're both still out because
Yep,
Tulsa and Indy are both still involved.
Yeah, and Vegas is over San Diego. I think they're tied in common games, aren't they?
Well, it doesn't matter because
Head-to-head.
with Tulsa and Indy,
Yep.
with Tulsa and Indy involved, none of that can apply.
Yeah, that's fair. Okay.
So Alamo City is out or is slotted behind San Diego due to common games.
Mhm.
So it's yeah, there you go, perfect. And then they have the worst SOV, but that actually, I think that's the first time that plays out. That exact situation plays out, but this time they're 13th. The other 2 times it played out, they were 12th. And the difference in that, so look at this. If Carolina wins, and Indy, if Carolina wins and Min and Indy wins, San Diego's out. No. If Carolina wins and Indy wins and Mexico City wins, San Diego's out. Interesting. We'll get to that in a minute.
Scenario 11, Mexico City wins and San Diego makes it.
You're right.
In scenario 14,
Okay.
oh no, that's just
All right.
Too early to tell.
We'll go back to see them specifically.
Yeah, we got to get them all done first.
It sounds like they have all the wackiest stuff. Okay, so in this spot, Carolina's good because Indy. Wait a minute. Carolina is in this scenario.
Right.
Right, because Indy wins.
Oh yeah, because Indy wins. My bad. Again, I'm losing it.
It's when Tulsa wins, they have problems.
Yeah, right. Okay. So we've got Tulsa, Vegas, Indy, Carolina. So we are in SOV hell.
Yes.
So Vegas, followed by Indy. Followed by Tulsa, Carolina, no common games, right? So it's Tulsa, and then it's Carolina. Ooh, Carolina, Vancouver, 8-9. Let's go.
Hang on, Cam. Before we get too far into this,
Yeah.
where was the common game loss sweep for Carolina? Does that apply here?
It doesn't because Indy won.
Okay.
It's when
10-4.
Indy loses. So this row here, head-to-head sweep loss, they lost, and then head-to-head sweep loss, and then they lost. And then the other row that Tulsa wins is over here. They lost, head-to-head sweep loss, they lost, head-to-head sweep loss.
All right, so we've covered that scenario in the past.
It's
Somebody just asked, and then I was just like,
Sure.
make
Yeah,
sure we're good.
it's a Tulsa win. When Tulsa wins and Carolina wins, it destroys the Skyhawks. $4.99 skip super chat. That's the Curtis on Curtis action I've been looking for.
What?
Huh? That's the way.
I think there's stuff going on that we can't see,
Yeah, I don't think I'm supposed to be here.
thankfully.
Okay, so we got.
Love you guys. Just kidding.
So Carolina's 9, Tulsa 10. That's all on SOV.
Mm-hmm.
And then we've got Fort Worth still winning the South. And we've got Minnesota still winning. Okay, so
Next is the non-division winner.
okay, and then we've got London Fort Worth Min, and that's SOV sweep, correct?
Yes.
Min?
Yes. Then London over Fort Worth.
All right. So here's the important part of the video that I will post. Okay, so we've got.
Hey, we haven't done 9.
Oh, whoops. Yeah, we probably should do that, huh?
Yeah.
Ah, good call. Okay. Sure. Let's do 9. The only difference between 10 and 9 is Fort Worth beats Mexico City. That's probably the one that's going to happen. It's 9.
There's 7 and 5 teams now.
Axel, what scenario are you referencing in the chat?
Response to Fox. Where's Fox? Also wins the division. Axel.
I think he's just saying how does
Scenario 11.
How does Tulsa
Scenario.
then impact Fort Worth and London? And the answer is that Tulsa would take the 4 spot on a SOV sweep, just like Minnesota would take the 4 spot if tied with London and Fort Worth. Both apply. You ready, Hunter, on 9?
Yes.
Oh, man, this is 7 and 5 hell.
But no.
And no luck for the Reds, unfortunately.
Yep, they are
11
done,
teams at
unfortunately.
7 and 5 here. That's crazy.
9. Feels
Sorry.
Close.
Oh, I can't count now. Sorry.
Well, you aren't a nerd, so.
That's right.
Louisiana, and then Mexico City is out.
Ow.
And then Mexico City's out on SOV. Who's next? It's All This Mess. San Diego's out next.
Yep, it's just a SOV snowball.
San Diego's out.
So that may also means San Diego has automatically clinched a playoff spot.
No,
Or
we
no,
just,
Las
we just
Vegas
eliminated
has
them.
clinched.
Yeah,
Las Vegas, excuse me.
It's working that way, and Tulsa, I believe, as well. Alamo City, followed by Vegas, followed by Indy. Followed by Tulsa, followed by Carolina.
Yep.
What a mess. And then you've got Minnesota, London. That's a SOV from division winners. That belongs to Minnesota.
Zach, in your response, because there are so many teams, there are no common games do not apply. It's straight
Right.
SOV.
You would, for common games to apply, these 8 teams would need to have played at least 3 of the same opponent, and they do not. Carolina and Tulsa, who's at the 8-9, they don't even play 3 common games. So it's a straight SOV flush. So Minnesota over London on SOV. Vancouver's your division winner. And then Fort Worth, Arizona, Baltimore again. We've been here before.
There are 10.
It depends on. It was
Carolina won.
Arizona has the
12.
SOV here.
Yeah, it's the
Yeah,
same as.
it's-
Toulouse.
Yep.
Yep.
Okay, now we've done all the scenarios.
Yes.
Perfect. Okay, let's start with Atlanta. Woo! You're number 1. Congratulations. Baltimore is number 2 with a Minnesota win. So Minnesota wins. Baltimore is 2. If Minnesota loses, Baltimore also needs Charleston to win. And if that
Negative.
happens, no?
Go. Scenarios 10 and 11. Carolina wins. Baltimore is still number 2.
You're right. Correct. So if Sioux Falls wins, then Baltimore needs either Indy to win. What is that? No, it's Mex. They need Mexico. So if if Minnesota loses, then Baltimore needs Mexico City to win. And if that happens, they get the 2 spot. That's because Fort Worth beat them. So they need Fort Worth out of there. Right? So Baltimore has a 12 out of 16 chance at the 2 seed. They can fall to 4. Actually, they're either going to be the 2 or the 4. In all the other scenarios, they are the 4. So that is if Sioux Falls and Fort Worth win. They are the 4. Right?
Looking like it.
Baltimore's clinched first round bye. And they will be either the 2 or the 4. And I tell you what, if I'm Atlanta, I'm saying please be the 2. Because I don't want to see you in the semis, potentially. Okay, so that's Baltimore, 2 or 4. Minnesota, you are number 3 with a win. And you are all over the place with a loss. 7, 7, 4, 5, 5, 4, 7, 7. Okay, Minnesota, you're the 3 if you win. You are the 7 if you lose and Tulsa wins. You are the 5 if you lose, Indy and Fort Worth wins. And you were the 4 if you lose, Indy and Mexico City wins. So you have a 10 out of 16 chance of getting a first round bye. Right?
Yeah.
Doing that?
Good to me.
Arizona.
1/4, basically.
Huh?
So 1/4 of a chance.
Yeah.
No.
So it's somewhere in between. It's like a 62 something. Arizona, you are the 4 with a Minnesota and Carolina win.
In scenario 5, they could end up 5th, but every other scenario, I think they're
8.
4th.
8 as well.
8. Okay. Yep. Yep.
So
And then
Arizona.
if Charleston.
Yeah, these are the 2 that Arizona misses a first round bye. If Charleston, Minnesota, and Fort Worth win, they are 5th. Right?
Yep.
So a 1 out of 8 chance. Otherwise, you have a first round bye. You're most likely to be 4, particularly if Minnesota wins. But then you could be the 3 or the 2. The only way you get the 2 is if Sioux Falls, Carolina, and Fort Worth win. In that scenario, you get the 2. Otherwise, you're in the 3 if Minnesota loses. So for Arizona, it's better for Minnesota to lose. That's what I'm saying.
Yep.
More advantageous, I guess.
Right.
Although, if you're in some of these cases, you get Baltimore on your side of the bracket. I don't know if you'd rather want Baltimore or Atlanta. I'm not really sure at this point. Okay, Fort Worth. You are you get a first round bye.
If Minnesota and Charleston win.
Can I type in? There we go. Let's type in Fort Worth. It saves me tons of time. Fort Worth, you get a first round bye. Minnesota, Charleston, and Fort Worth win. You could also get it if Sioux Falls and Carolina win. There's a lot of combinations for Fort Worth. They get the 2 seed if Sioux Falls and Charleston win along with them. Then you get the 3 seed if Sioux Falls and Carolina win. Fort Worth's cheering for Minnesota to lose. That's clear. But they can still get a first round bye if Minnesota wins, but Carolina and Indy also lose. Just Carolina. So Fort Worth's in the mix. They could fall as far as 6. But that's it. Fort Worth falls to 6 if Mexico City wins and then a combination of some other things. Okay. London, who I saw highlighted. Perfect. Wonder why it didn't pull up in the other scenarios. Okay. London. Can you get a first round bye? No. London is either the 5 or the 6. London is the 5 if Mexico City wins. London is the 6 if Fort Worth wins. How about that?
Yep.
So Monday's game will determine the 5-12 and 6-11 games.
Nice.
I knew it would count for something. Tulsa, drum roll, please. You, Tulsa, are in the playoffs. You don't have to worry tomorrow night. Other teams will be worried, but you don't have to. You even, Tulsa, could get a first-round bye. And you can do that with a Sioux Falls win, a Tulsa win, and a Mexico City win. A 1/8 chance, but it is there. You could also play on the road in the wild card game, and there's plenty of scenarios for you to do that. You could fall as far as 10. And in that scenario, Carolina, Indy, and Mexico City would win. It would be the 10 spot. Vancouver, we know they are in. Vancouver is either going to be the 8 or the 9. They could also be the 7. They are the 7 if Fort Worth and Indy win. They are the 8 if Charleston wins. There's one other scenario that they're also 8, and then they are the 9, which is where they don't want to be. They are the 9 if Mexico City and Tulsa win. So that is the situation where where Vancouver would go on the road. By the way, in all of those scenarios, they would be at Mexico City. Cade Stevens was in bounds.
Yowza.
Okay, Carolina, just to confirm how insane your life is, you could host a home playoff game if you win, Indy wins, and Fort Worth wins. You would be the 9 seed if you win, Indy wins, and Mexico City wins. And in all other scenarios, you are out. You have a 5 out of 16 chance of making the playoffs.
About a third.
What you don't need is a Tulsa win. If Tulsa wins, that is your scenarios to the right side of your screen. If Tulsa wins, you are out. That's it. Now, you also have to win. The Tulsa game is after yours. So you beat Charleston, and then you wait to see if Indy can get the win after you.
Talk about a doubleheader of stress.
Doubleheader of stress is right. Indianapolis. By the way, I want to, back in scenario 1, we're going to say that Tulsa is in, right? And all these other teams are confirmed in, right? They have clinched a playoff spot. Atlanta, Baltimore, Minnesota, Arizona, Fort Worth, London, Vancouver, Tulsa. They have all clinched at this point, right?
Correct.
So Indy is out with a loss. It's easier said than done. If they finish 7-5, if they win, Indy, you are in the playoffs. It is a win and in situation. You could be the 9, 10, or 11 seed, but you will be on the road in the first round. You are the 9 in 2 scenarios. That is if Charleston, Indy, and Fort Worth win. You are the 9. That is your best case situation, and you'll be at Tulsa. You're the 11 if Indy, Mexico City, and Carolina win. In that situation, you would be at Fort Worth. And then in the other 4 scenarios, you would be the 10 spot, and there are a variety of teams that you could play. So win and in for Indy tomorrow. But if they lose, they are out, which we already knew. But Indy is in with a win. They have a 50% chance, but they have not clinched yet. That leaves Las Vegas, another big winner from tonight. Las Vegas is... there's Vegas at 12. They are in. Vegas has clinched a playoff spot. They will be on the road in the wild card round. You will either be the 10, 11, or 12 seed. And it looks like those possibilities are pretty even across the board, so I'm not going to go into the details. But you're in. Congratulations. Alamo City. Fascinating possibilities here for Alamo City.
Indy and Fort Worth are the keys.
So Alamo City is out with, just as you said, Indy and Mexico City. If they both win, Alamo City is out. But
Yep.
Alamo City has a 75% chance to make the playoffs. And in every one of those scenarios, except for 2, you would be the 12 seed.
Yeah.
You could be the 11 seed if Charleston, Indy, and Fort Worth all win. In that scenario, you would go to London. Congratulations. Try to beat London and Queen City. I'm sorry, in Queensway.
Right.
But 75% chance to make the playoffs. That's better than Indy. But you don't control your own destiny. San Diego. You are in with a Tulsa win. And you also could get in with an Indy win plus a Charleston win. So San Diego has 2 different paths. If Tulsa wins, that's the easiest one. But if Charleston and Indy win, you are also in the playoffs, and you would be the 12 seed going to either London, Minnesota, or Arizona. So no idea on that one. So you need either a Tulsa win or an Indy and Charleston win, and you will be in the playoffs. So that, again, is a 75% chance, kind of like Alamo City, kind of in the same boat as you guys. San Diego is out if Indy and Carolina win. So that's the Mavericks situation. If Carolina wins and Indy wins, they're cooked. Mexico City, well, you're almost in. You also have a high percentage. But Mexico City is out if they lose and Indy wins. How about that? So, yeah, if Indy wins and Mexico City loses, they are out, which means that if Indy wins that Monday night game, right, you're talking about a win and in or lose and out situation for Mexico City if Indy wins the game. Is everybody still with me?
Yeah, you're correct on that.
Yes.
All right,
I'm just checking it.
I'm
sir.
sure I'm not. Not everybody's gone to bed. And then Louisiana is your only team that's out.
Yep.
Louisiana has been eliminated. Tulsa and Vegas have clinched. And Carolina, Indy, Alamo City, and San Diego, you are left in purgatory.
Again.
7 and 5 Hill.
There you have it.
Come on, Fort Worth. Rooting for you all the way.
I will put these scenarios into written form tomorrow on the Discord and into the game channels for broadcasters who are calling these games. Does anybody else have anything they'd like to say tonight? Thank you for everyone, especially Michael Percoco, who contributed to the Super Chats this evening that made staying up till 1 and 2 a.m. Worth it.
A little more worth it.
A little more worth it. Anybody have anything?
The NFL has Black Monday. The SFL might have a Black Tuesday or sooner.
Interesting. We shall see. Congrats, Tulsa, Vegas. Be great to, particularly Tulsa. Be great to see you in the playoffs after last
Oh
year.
yeah.
Louisiana,
Definitely.
we feel your pain.
We're holding out for Louisiana next season.
Say again, Curtis?
So we're holding out for Louisiana next season.
Oh yes. Skippy
I
199.
wish.
Thank you, Mr. Irvine. Thank you, Skip. What, Tyler?
I was gonna say, yeah, Louisiana. From the assistant general manager point of view, I speak for everybody in Louisiana. It's gut wrenching. We get to feel the pain of Tulsa, the sting of that, and we will come back stronger in season 21.
Dion came in at a great time. He joined at the perfect time. Yes, you did. We'll see you in the playoffs. Thanks, everyone, for staying up with us and going through everything. We have 16 scenarios left. We have 4 games. Action starts 6:30 p.m. Eastern tomorrow evening. Have a great night, everybody.
Hey, Cameron.
Yes.
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt your outro, but I did want to say thank you to Hunter and Premier Stats Group for
100%.
spreadsheet
Absolutely.
and
Yeah,
doing all
good
that
stuff.
stuff. That was,
Beat me to it. I was gonna say the same thing.
yeah,
Tremendous job.
really streamlining this show and this process. Also want to say thanks to you. By moving to the divisional format, it really helped this show. The scenarios aren't as crazy to break, right? So
Yeah.
it becomes kind of like we pick up steam as the show goes. So I really like this. I think it's really great. So again, thank you, Premier Stats Group, Hunter, for all the work that you do. Really appreciate it.
Well said, Hack. And yeah, that I remember that scenario show we did before we had divisions. Oh my gosh.
Oh my
that
gosh.
was just
Head-to-heads,
ugh,
common opponents. It was crazy.
that was a mess. Well said, Hack.
I think that's my first one.
Huh, Rochelle?
That was my first one. I was like, oh my god.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We didn't know what we were doing back then. Thanks to everyone out there. Thanks for watching. And thanks to all of our crew here tonight. Y'all have a great one.